If you plant nothing, you harvest nothing. If you plant weeds, you harvest weeds. And if you plant carelessness into your life, you will harvest regret. These are not just words. This is a truth many of you sitting here must face today, now, before it's too late. I must speak clearly. Many elderly people will not live past 82, not because their bodies have betrayed them, but because they have betrayed their bodies. When you grow old, you believe you have the right to rest, to stop moving, to eat without thought, to sleep without discipline. You believe age gives you permission to neglect yourself, and that is where the end begins, not in your heart, not in your lungs, but in your mind. Many elderly people unknowingly shorten their own lives because they allow neglect to creep in, both in body and in mind. As people age, there is a common belief that rest and comfort are the rewards of a long life, and while rest has its place, too much of it turns into stagnation. The body is designed to move, to stretch, to work, yet many stop walking, stop exercising, and even stop paying attention to what they eat. Over time, this inactivity weakens the muscles, stiffens the joints, and reduces the ability of the heart and lungs to function properly. The mind follows the same pattern. People stop learning, stop being curious, and stop challenging themselves mentally. They retreat into routines, avoid new experiences, and settle into a life of passivity. This mental decline often comes before the body truly gives out. They no longer fight for their health, believing it is simply the natural course of aging to become frail and dependent. What they fail to realize is that by giving up responsibility for their health, they accelerate the process of decline. It is not merely disease or fate that takes them early. It is the quiet accumulation of small daily choices to do nothing. Each skipped walk, each unhealthy meal, each wasted day of idleness slowly chips away at their strength and vitality. When they finally realize what has happened, it is often too late to undo the damage. But the truth remains, this neglect is not inevitable. Those who continue to care for their body and sharpen their minds can maintain their independence and live longer, more fulfilling lives. To age is natural, but to surrender to weakness through neglect is a choice, one that far too many make without even realizing it. The years you live are shaped long before you grow old, and the habit you carry with you determine how strong or fragile you will become. Every choice you make in your younger and middle years leaves a mark on your future health. Eating poorly, neglecting exercise, allowing stress to pile up without relief, and ignoring your body's warning signs all take their toll. Over time, many elderly people believe their health problems are simply bad luck or the inevitable result of aging, but in reality, they are often the result of years of careless habits. A lifetime of sitting too much weakens the heart and stiffens the joints. Years of processed foods and sugary drinks clog the arteries and burden the organs. Constant stress, left unmanaged, wears down the immune system and accelerates aging from within. These habits, though they seem small and harmless in the moment, add up like heavy stones you carry into old age. When people finally reach their 70s or 80s, they find themselves struggling to walk, struggling to breathe, struggling even to think clearly, and they wonder why. The truth is, the foundation of a long, healthy life is not built in old age. It is built every single day long before. A person who treats their body and mind with care, who develops the discipline to move, to eat wisely, to rest properly, and to manage stress, can remain strong and vibrant well past 82. But those who neglect these habits find themselves at the mercy of their own past choices. Aging may be natural, but how you age, whether with strength or weakness, independence or dependence, is largely determined by the habits you built over a lifetime. Every choice either extends your life or shortens it. Discipline is what keeps life flowing with strength and purpose, even in old age. Without discipline, the body becomes soft, weak, and vulnerable, and the mind drifts aimlessly, losing its sharpness. Many people assume that as they grow older, they have earned the right to let go of discipline, to stop following routines, and to give in to comfort. But this very mindset is what makes aging such a struggle. The truth is that the body thrives on regular, intentional movement, and the mind thrives on structure. A disciplined person wakes up each day with a plan, No matter how simple walking, stretching, breathing exercises, eating nourishing foods, they do not wait to feel motivated. They act because they know their life depends on it. Even small actions, when done daily, create remarkable resilience over time. It is easy to underestimate the power of habits, but discipline turns those habits into an unstoppable force for health and vitality. A disciplined person does not skip a walk just because it rains. They do not reach for unhealthy food just because it is convenient. They do not sit in idleness simply because no one is watching. They honor themselves through their actions, proving every day that they value life. Without discipline, the days blend into one another, and physical strength fades quickly. Muscles weaken, balance is lost, diseases creep in. The mind becomes clouded, unfocused, and forgetful. With discipline, however, the opposite happens. The body stays strong enough to carry you through each year, and the mind remains alert, calm, and capable. This is not about perfection, but about showing up for yourself every single day, making the choice to care for your body and mind. Discipline is not a punishment, it is the greatest gift you can give yourself to live longer and better. What often brings a person down in old age is not simply the body failing, but the mind giving up long before it needs to. The human body is remarkably resilient and can adapt to many challenges, but when the mind accepts defeat, the body soon follows. Many elderly people convince themselves that they are too old to change, too old to improve, too old to fight for their health. This belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy as they stop making any effort to stay active or sharp. The moment you tell yourself that your best years are behind you, you stop trying to create better ones ahead. That quiet surrender is what drains vitality faster than time ever could. The mind is the command center of the body, and every thought it holds sends signals that either strengthen you or weaken you. A person who believes they still have purpose, who stays curious and engaged with life, often surprises everyone with how strong they remain, even into their 90s. But someone who sees themselves only as old, fragile, and irrelevant quickly falls into decline. The body can handle aches, slower movements, and even chronic illness, but it cannot survive a mind that has already decided to quit. When you give up mentally, you stop noticing opportunities to care for yourself. You no longer take walks, you no longer learn or challenge yourself, and you no longer see the value in your own life. This mindset starves your spirit, and your body soon mirrors that emptiness. The key is to remember that as long as you are alive, your mind has the power to influence your health and longevity. You are only truly old when you allow your mind to believe it and stop commanding your body to keep moving forward. Life is a gift that many people take for granted, especially as they grow older. With each passing year, it becomes easy to forget how precious every breath, every step, and every heartbeat truly is. Some people begin to see life as a burden rather than a blessing, focusing only on what they have lost instead of what they still have. This lack of gratitude leads to carelessness, as if their body no longer deserves care and respect simply because it has aged. But the reality is that every day you wake up is another chance to honor the life you've been given. The body, no matter how worn it feels, still responds to how you treat it. When you nourish it, move it, and care for it with intention, it rewards you with more strength, more energy, and more time. Respecting life means not wasting the opportunity to make each day meaningful. Every choice matters, whether it's what you eat, how much you move, or even how you think about yourself. People who live past 82 with vitality are those who treat their bodies and minds as sacred, refusing to abuse or neglect them, no matter how old they get. Respect is shown through discipline, but also through gratitude, seeing your life as something worth protecting and improving. Too many people abandon this respect, blaming age for all their problems while ignoring the power they still hold. When you truly value life you've been given, you stop making excuses and start making better decisions. You realize that your body is not disposable just because it has wrinkles, and your mind is not useless just because it forgets sometimes. Every moment you are alive is proof of how resilient you are, and respecting That fact is the first step to living longer and better. Even in old age, it is never too late to change and show yourself that you are still alive, still capable, and still in control of your life. Many people assume that once they reach a certain age, their fate is sealed and nothing they do can make a difference anymore. This mindset is one of the greatest mistakes a person can make, because the body and mind are always willing to respond to care and effort, no matter how long they've been neglected. Choosing to change, even after years of unhealthy habits or idleness, is a powerful declaration that your life is still your own. The moment you decide to take charge, you reignite a spark inside yourself that has been waiting all along. You do not have to climb mountains or run marathons to prove yourself. Even small steps can transform the way you feel and the way you live. Simply choosing to walk a little more each day, to stretch your body, to eat nourishing foods, to learn something new, these choices remind you that you are not finished yet. Too often, people resign themselves to decline, telling themselves that weakness and sickness are simply the price of aging. But in reality, the human body is incredibly resilient, and the mind can recover its sharpness when you give it something to strive for. Every time you choose to act with purpose, you send a message to yourself that you still value your life. You begin to feel stronger, more alive, and more hopeful. It is never too late to create better habits, to strengthen your body, or to calm and sharpen your mind. No matter how old you are, there is still time to prove that the fire inside you has not gone out and that you are still capable of living fully.